I'll tell you, there are only three proven things that impact the longevity of life. One is eat real food. The second is walk like 3 times a week, 45 minutes each, regular pace. And the last one is have lots of friends. That's it. There you go. We just put all of healthcare out of business right there.
Welcome back to another episode in the Healthy Lawyer Life series. And today we're going to be back with our friend, Dr. Vail, and we're going to be talking about fitness and what is really important and what does that really mean. So let's welcome our guest, Dr. Vail. Welcome back to the show. How are you?
Thank you very much. Delighted to be here. I'm doing well.
Awesome. So I would say so far, I just want to say I'm very grateful for the conversations we've had thus far. Like my team has been watching the episodes and they've been going through editing and they've been like, man, this is really good. So thank
Good.
you so much
Good.
for the
I'm glad.
content so
Oh,
far.
thanks for the encouragement. I'm glad. I appreciate that.
A- Absolutely. So you and I had a conversation that I thought was very interesting about the
Mhm.
topic of fitness because and I think thought this was very insightful the way you said it because if you go online and you type in fitness, you're going to see so many different things between all these diet plans, all these
Mhm.
workout plans. You'll see
Mhm.
some pretty extreme stuff to just stuff
Right.
all across the board and I feel like people have kind of lost sight of what does fitness actually mean? And I really love the way you put it. So, can we talk a little bit about your perspective when it comes down to fitness?
Yeah. Yeah. So my perspective on fitness really centers around this question, which is what do you need to be fit for? For example, firemen have to pass a fitness for duty test every year or two. And they have to do things like carry 100 pounds up and down a ladder and things like that. I don't think I need to do that. That's not part of my job, and it's not part of my life, and it's not part of yours. But there are things that I do need to be fit for. And so what's happened is we have this idolization, this worship of fitness. Everyone's got to be fit. And it has to do with every biometric you can measure, whether that's weight, blood pressure, muscle mass, yada, yada. And all these things you need to do to really be healthy, but also to really kind of be a good person, accepted and approved by the rest of us. And that's fine to some extent, but the reality is it misses the mark. The question is actually, what do you need to be fit for? And so if you're a lawyer, a doctor, an accountant, you don't need to carry a lot of weight up and down a ladder, but you do need for your brain to be as fit as that fireman's body. And so what do you do actually to help your brain be healthy? And my own example, life has changed. We now have grandchildren that I'm having to carry around some. And I'm like, oh my gosh, what happened to my arm strength? It's gone. I didn't know I'd gotten that old. And I realized I am actually not fit enough for that part of life. And I need to get better at that, not because I'm trying to enter the Mr. Universe body weightlifter contest. It's just because that's part of life, right? So the thing I want to encourage everyone to do is to say, okay, within my life, what do I really need to be fit for? What are the duties that I have, often that I have to do? So what are those? And then maybe I have another list of things I want to do, right? Oh, I'd love to go snow skiing or whatever. Okay, great. But those are the things that we need to think about. And there's not a magic BMI. There's not a magic timed mile. None of that actually really matters. What matters is, are you fit for the duty for you and me of being a husband? What does that mean? So that's
Mhm.
how I think about all that.
I think that's a very insightful way to look at it because we're inundated by all of these, whether it's a fitness watch or whether it's a fitness app. And I wear a fitness watch myself. And now I will say is I'm not living my life by the
How's it
metrics
working for
on
you?
it.
Yeah.
It's more, I really
Yeah.
gravitated to it because my wife got it for me when I just wanted to really just have some fun, like going, walking, and hiking. I wanted to see how
Mhm.
many steps could I do, and not necessarily really, hey, I need to track it every day. I need to like giving myself an
Yeah.
assignment. Just I just wanted to see how I was doing. And
Yeah.
now, to be honest with you, for the most part, I wear it to tell the time, so I don't have to pull out my cell
Yeah.
phone to turn
Yeah.
it on. But I see so many people really
Yeah.
trying to figure out, okay, all right, how do I make sure that I stay fit? And I think that's why your perspective on it, I think it
Mhm.
carries even
Mhm.
more weight coming from a person who does have
Mhm.
a medical as a medical doctor who has that background of just really challenging people to say, what do you need to be fit for?
It's just a great question, and I can't remember what spurred me to ask it, but it's only been, like, within the last year that I started thinking about that. Who knows? Maybe it was carrying a grandchild, and I thought, "Oh my gosh." But it is a great way to approach that because if people are doing it because they say, "I wanna live a really long time," I'll tell you, there are only 3 proven things that impact longevity of life. One is eat real food. The second is walk, like, 3 times a week at 45 minutes each, regular pace, and the last one is have lots of friends. That's it. So there you go. We just put all of healthcare out of business right there. That's it. Does it matter your BMI, you're this, you're that, you're whatever? Yeah, but at the same time, it's not that determinative. And that's where we have to reframe it and say, what do I need to be fit for my life right now? That's really the only thing. Cause actually, that's all I got. That's where I'm living right now, today. Oh, I
Mhm.
want to be fit in 20 years. You're like, you want to be here in 20 years? One thing.
Yeah.
It's just a different way of thinking about it.
And there's something else that you mentioned that really caught my attention where you talked about for lawyers, for them, they don't necessarily need to be fit to be able to carry a fire hose up
Yeah.
20
Yeah.
flights of stairs,
Right.
but mentally, they need to be
Right.
fit for the type of work that they do. And I wonder, like, how
Right.
many lawyers take that step back to say, what am I doing to protect my mental health for the job that I do?
Yeah. Yeah. That's a great point. And odds are very little. Odds are high that people are doing very little. Let me say it that way. And there are two parts to it. One is just a functioning of the brain. In what ways are you actually fertilizing the brain with what it needs? Is it getting these micronutrients that you need? Stuff that's on the periodic table. You might need copper and selenium. You're like, really? Yeah, your brain needs that. Macronutrients, omega-3, tryptophan, vitamins are certain ones. Your brain needs sleep. Most people totally trash sleep in these professions that are really geared around just how much can you work. And that's just the functional physical piece. The other piece about sort of emotional, behavioral, that's a whole different thing, but that's a part of us too. In our modern medicine world, we separate everything. Oh, you're having emotional stuff. That's a psychiatry. That's a totally different place. Oh, you have this problem. That's a different place. We're all connected. All of our parts are connected.
I totally agree, and I hope that lawyers and any other professional, they're taking this conversation to really think deeply about that. If you I imagine, like, listing out, like, all the different areas of your life, and it's just which are the ones that are the most critical to what you are doing. Think about
Right.
for a lawyer, I mean, is if you look at how much time do you spend on your mental health versus your physical health? Because if you're working out
Right.
every single day, you're in the tip-top physical shape, but
Right.
mentally
Right.
you're deprived, you're not gonna be the best for what you're doing.
No, you're not. You're not. And that's actually what people are paying you for.
Mm,
When I do this live before a room full of lawyers, I look at them all and say, I'm actually paying you to remember what we talked about yesterday. And if you don't get enough sleep, you will have trouble doing that because that's the part of the sleep cycle that gets dropped. The time that is going to consolidate all that you learned throughout the day. And so you would never want LeBron James to show up injured or halfway fit. Wait a minute. What is that? And so we need to think about that. Wouldn't it be fascinating if law firms sat down and said, okay, what do we need to do to have people super healthy from here up? Let's just focus on that for 1 year. What would it take? What would that look like? And let's see what difference it makes. That would be amazing. That would be amazing.
that would be an experiment, I would love to see it just how those lawyers perform in their profession, how they even
Yeah.
show up in their personal life, and how they
Right.
show up for their
Right.
clients.
That's exactly right. I think it could be incredible, actually,
Mm.
because we know that things like depression and anxiety, those are twice as high in attorneys as they are in the general population. Alcohol abuse, twice as high. All of that. That's a pretty significant mind hit, brain hit. And that's just one of those things for all the firms out there. We should think about how do we actually do that better? We'll let Bill take care of here down, but we're really going to pay attention to nurturing here up. I think that'd be pretty cool.
Awesome. Now, for people who may just be joining the series, where is a good place for them to find you online if they're like, "Hey, I love what Dr. Bill talked about. I want to hear more, or hey, I want to find out what else Dr. Bill is up to, because we really need to focus on this in our firm. So, where's a good place for them to find you online?
Yeah, yeah, thanks. Right now, it would just be my Gmail, Bill Satterwhite50 at Gmail. So Bill
Awesome.
Satterwhite50 at Gmail.
Awesome. And to everyone, thank you so much for tuning in to another part of the Healthy Lawyer Life series. And Dr. Bill, thanks again for your insight.
Absolutely. Thank you.
Thank you for tuning in to another episode of the Law Firm and Finance Show, where we give you great content that helps you build a more successful law firm. So make sure you hit that subscribe button on all platforms and follow us for more content.